So I figure, I don't know what Future Jordan's gonna do, but I figure this is a good time to at least cut in and show off a bit of my training, if for no other reason than for data's sake, in case anyone was curious. Also, I am, what am I think I'm at the last step. I don't know anyone other than Gold Chips Gold, but here I am. I have to do these settings again, because I switch on from Steam when I want to record, and then I moved on to mobile when I want more time. So, in any case, if you didn't already see, and we can just go over the stats really quickly here for timestamp's sake or otherwise, yeah, this is my Haru Urara. It's mainly because I'm playing her late. If I played N, I would need more stamina cards, I feel. But these are the skills really quickly. You can look them up yourself. There is a repository or wiki or there's a collection somewhere in the English community. I know that for a fact. But as we sit here and wonder what I want to do with my life, I don't know if I still want to go speed until I tweak, or, well, in my strategy, speed and then power till I tweak anything. And by that I mean essentially building speed until you get into a race where your stats say otherwise. Now, that doesn't always dictate where you're at, because the strat you're using may demand essentially more power, and then the race type may demand more stamina. That's kind of the very, very quick notes version, and then the guts helps with stamina in the later part of the race. And then, yeah, so you just need to run. Doesn't really matter if Haru Urara wins, because for some reason they decided to throw you a lot. Well, I think I know the reason. I think it's for lore-related reasons, like actual real-life lore, because a lot of Musume is tied into just basically real life. We're just gonna skip this because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's to be expected. Haru Urara, at least for a lot of trainers, I believe, will not be... Yeah, you're not meant to win that race, basically. You're just meant to participate. That's what run in X race means. X being whatever race they're telling you to do. And that's the last thing. So really, it was the previous one where you had to score first. If Future Jordan didn't already put in a race where that happened, I essentially clock and stuff. But as we sit here and really think about what we want to do, I don't think I can URA with Urara here, but we'll try our best. So I think I'm just going to go... points. That's not wits. In fact, I might just go power. Yeah, I'm gonna go power until tweak. That's my own self-phrase. That doesn't really mean anything. That's just how I'm describing what's going on. If you can pick up a skill, sure. I don't think it's gonna mean as much. So just to explain really quickly in terms of, you know, why you may or may not want to pick up skills. Yes, overall skills, certain skills, especially green ones, are a flat modifier. You can consider that for most skills. If you look around, there will be more than a few trainers, if not a majority, that say, unless it's a gold skill of some sort, it's usually not worth picking up. But when you don't have any gold skills, you might as well use these skill points somewhere, especially if you're early game like I am and you're just trying to win URA. Now, afterward, especially if you're trying to do inspirations, as I'll try to use the English terminology as much as possible. When you're trying to get inspirations, yeah, sure. You might want to save on skill points so you can pass those skills on if you get lucky enough. There is a measure of RNG, even just trying to get the stats or aptitudes you want at the end of a run, which is where, at least for my experience, a lot of my grind came in when I was in the Japanese version. Didn't play it for that long, but I played around for... I know I stopped just before another gold ship came out. That's the last I remember. But as we sit here and just look at the race for a moment, this is to be normal. For those who don't know anything about Musume or are trying to get in or are learning more late-end strategies, your Musume will be in the later half of the pack, most likely. If they're anywhere ahead, then you're overperforming or you just outstat the rest of the competition. But otherwise, if you're at equal stats, this should be where your Musume is at the beginning to half of the race. After the half of the race, they may pull ahead, and definitely near the end, they are supposed to pull ahead into first. But depends on a whole host of factors, among which is too much to say in probably this video, which will not be too long if I lose quickly. But otherwise, yeah, we're here we're here with Haru Urara trying to champion on a random run where, if you look at my support cards, they're not the greatest either. They're kind of to be expected, especially if you are looking around. That's where the friend/follow system comes into play. Because, as you may not have heard, I'll repeat it here again if you didn't watch that video, but essentially, in the trying to play video, I said I did, for fun, I did 400 to 500 scouts on the support card gacha, and I didn't see a single, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the names, help! Super Creek or Fine Motion. Not a single one out of the 400 or 500. There were pulls in which I got 2 SSRs. Preferably you would want a dupe, which is why they're so... If nothing else to learn from this video, if you find or follow someone that has an uncapped SSR, use that. Follow. Of course, you have to know what you're doing with it, but it's not a bad idea to follow that trainer, essentially. But preferably, if you're trying to be a bit more try-hard / sweaty, whatever you want to call it, if you want to get more quality, find someone who has at least Super Creek or Fine Motion and follow them. And if they have it uncapped to any extent, yeah, use that support card. it makes a not an insignificant difference and not a too significant difference. It is significant, but you'll see the difference. So it is literally if nothing else, I know it's the difference between getting URA champ and not. That I know for sure, because I've gone through at least 5 out of 10 runs where I had an uncapped Super Creek or Fine Motion, and it was a URA champion. Easy. So there were times I had to use the clock. Again, I'm not that far. If you look at my support cards, that's I'm using what I can use, and that's what I get. Otherwise, usually you can try to play with your cards, if nothing else, or try to play around the stat distribution of your cards. What I mean by that, really quickly, is it's something, don't take this for fact, but if you want to give something else a try, you can try one of 2 things. I will explain both. I'll explain the first one. So, force the stat distribution, so basically using your rare cards to put in whatever stat distribution you want. For example, just a very simplified example, I want Haru Urara to have, 1 speed support, 2 power supports, and, maybe 1 gut support. I don't have it here, but you get the point. Then no matter what, even if I don't have an SR power support, I use a super rare or rare one, and that's why I force it. So I'll force those supports. Hey, we won. I'll force those supports and make sure I have that stat distribution, because if nothing else, I can try to force the bonds myself, and that way I'll still have at least 1 to 2 power rainbow trainings, as opposed to if I just use SRs, but they're not the type I want, like I want power on Haru Urara, then yeah, I can't get any rainbow training done. So, shrug. Otherwise, the alternative of that would be, as I mentioned before... Hold on, let me just focus for a moment. Oh my goodness, I'm going crazy. I forgot what the second one was. Gosh dang it me. This is what I get for recording in the middle, as if I'm streaming. But... yeah, you could play your cards. So, okay, yeah, the second version was that, say you don't have any power cards, you can try to... I wouldn't recommend it, but you can try if my first method doesn't work. So say you only have... you have an SSR, and then you have 4 SRs, but none of them have power. You can just try to play with those. So, for example, if you have 2 Wit SRs, a Speed SSR, and then, say, a Trainer, and then another Speed SR, then you build your... Uma Musume... I'm trying to skip here. You build your Uma Musume towards those stats, so you'll have efficient rainbow training on Wit, on Sprint, or its Speed in the example I used, but you don't have any power, which... You can supplement that with events, but it's not going to be as high as if you had a support in general. Now, are rares great to use? Not really, but that's what I mean by try what works for you. And if nothing else, that's the takeaway for this video. Try what works for you. Try something until it works for you, or that is another way to say it. But then that's why, again, the follow system is really nice, so even if you don't get a Super Creek or Fine Motion SSR, which are the 2 definite support cards to be hunting for, if you find even just one of them, even without dupes, you should be set on your way. If not, I mean, you can keep re-rolling. We're still in the entry period at the time of this recording, as I am probably going to lose here, because Urara is stuck back in 12th, not being able to pull forward, but... yeah, you're set. And if you get a dupe of either of those 2 SSRs, Super Creek or Fine Motion, then you, for a fact, you will get picked up for follows here and there. It will happen. It happened in my Japanese server. I'm sure it's happening in global right now. We're going to have to clock this, by the way. But And the reason for that is just getting dupes is if you don't have the resources, don't get lucky or you're not a whale. It is a struggle to find dupes in the first place. I think among the 400, 500 support card scouts, I only duped one SSR out of 20 pulls, 20 to 30 pulls, because you actually have more than that, but it depends on how much you want to pull support cards. So just to correct myself, a long time ago, there was a comment that asked what the distribution of support cards to Uma Musume pulls scouts are. You want to do more support cards than Uma Musume, at least at the very beginning. That I know for sure, because support cards play a big factor in helping out all of your Uma Musume training or career mode sessions. So I'm struggling in real life as I say this, but yeah, 50-50 might be too much for Uma Musume, or not enough for support cards. Probably like 66%, 75%, and it depends on, again, I'm a complete free-to-play, but if you, even if you just spend, the bare amount, which some people judge not enough because a 10 pull, when the effective pity is 200 on a banner, it doesn't really mean as much. Now again, that depends on how you like to scout in Uma Musume, but at this moment, I think in a month's time, I said it, I think, in the previous video or a comment somewhere, but if you didn't know, there's a speed SSR that's coming out. Everyone's saving for that one, basically. Urara, please! I can see you passing people! Yeah! But anywho, so that's what I'm saving for. Otherwise, I'd just be saving for gold chip, because I know at least 2 gold chips are going to come out in the far future, but then even just saving 30,000 carats can be a grind. It depends on where you are in the PvP, but even then, I think with my calculations, it's a bit hard. Which means another way of explaining my situation is I'm going to be sitting here with the support cards I have for a while. Or at least until, I get the free-to-play ones, because there are free-to-play SSRs that you can get right now. That is why it's important to start now. And if you watch my old Japanese videos, videos that I did play the Japanese version, you'll see some of these SSRs, at least 2 to 3 of them. They're not the greatest, but they definitely give you a boost and put you on the path to being at mid-level, even pushing high level. I never pushed really high level. I was more casual, but as we complete URA Finals here, we'll just pick up whatever we can get here. That kind of makes sense, but again, starting as a free-to-play, it's not painful, but overall, like, the objective, at least in my opinion, is it's pretty painful. So yeah, if you're starting now, it's great to start. There is FOMO, obviously, and that's mainly comes, for me at least, in the SSR support cards that you can get right now. I think if we can go check the event really quickly after we finish Urara here. Oh my goodness, help! Then I'll let you know what. Otherwise, and hey, this is gonna be great if I want to make an end closer. Probably gold ship. Now that might not be effective inspiration wise, because there's a grading to inspirations, but I mean, it's better than having nothing or none at all. So hey, so yeah, I'm in the process of basically training every Uma Musume that I have not trained yet, or basically just building the team. That's the more important part, so I can show you the team really quickly here. It's not anything special. I'm literally still using rare support cards. Not that that's a reason that these are bad. I'm sure I could be more strategic in my training sessions, but yeah, it's not great. So we'll confirm this, move on. Hey, I broke into D, but again, I did start a day late too, so I'm at least 1 day behind. Again, that's not the greatest. If you start now, you'll still be in time to do event stuff, but just to show you really quickly. So if you didn't already know, there is the SSR card. I have no idea where it's not here. But there are important things in the event point rewards. Otherwise, I think I even have it, so I can just go to my support cards just to see. Oh my goodness. Again, I'm not the most knowledgeable in Uma Musume, but I can try. I can try my best to explain things, especially as I find them, because I am still looking both at the English community and the Japanese community, and both sides are, there's a lot of parallels, essentially. If you find advice in one community, you'll find it elsewhere. So, that's the roulette. Bingo here. So yeah, here's the SSR for this event. It's special week SSR, and yeah, it's speed. Now, it might not be the greatest in terms of like what all the SSRs are, but it's still gonna be better than just having just your SRs, because you'll be able to limit break this once you complete. Essentially, if you do the whole event, you'll have a fully uncapped SSR support card, which is great if for no other reason than your stats. But just to end off this video, not really much else to say. I'm doing what I can, and then when I get to especially when I get to the inspiration grind, I'm essentially just sniping for the gold ship titles, fan titles. So yeah, without further ado, if you want to see something else, if you want to ask any questions, if you want to see a certain type of video, let me know. I'll at least think about it, but I'm definitely just gonna, at least from now until I make, more focused formal videos, I'll just show you what my training looks like, if for no other reason than data. But yeah, without further ado, I won't take up much more of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!